Good morning, TASN members. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Melissa Bryan, your immediate past president.
And I'm Michael Francis, your incoming president.
So thank you for joining us. This is our first live Zoom kind of conference, and we want to share a little bit with you of some things going on at TASN and see how we move forward through this COVID and unique cancellations.
Yeah. This whole interesting and unique situation that we're all kind of going through together. Better, stronger together. I guess we can kind of put it in that fashion. So.
Yeah. Well, I'll do a little year in review, Michael. And TASN members. So when you become a vice president, when you get elected vice president, you plan the industry seminar. So then when you move into president-elect, as you know, Michael, you plan your conference. And so back in 2018, planning my conference theme, Better, Stronger Together, I had no idea that 2019 and starting 20 would really, go with that conference thing, Better, Stronger Together, because Texas has really stepped up and we have had to be stronger, better, stronger together. So the installation conference last summer was normal, had a great time. TASN did a great job pulling it off. We went to the board meeting. February was a regular board meeting. And then most of us from the board went to DC for Legislation Action Conference. And I don't know, I think we were on that same industry event that night, Michael, and we were all standing around and we heard a rumor that there was a school in Texas, a big one by Houston, that they were going to shut down for a couple of weeks because of coronavirus. And do you remember that?
Yeah. It's especially when you're from a distance and you're getting information, especially if it's in your own state, you're kind of confused, like what's going on and what needs to happen next.
Yeah, we were all, I know myself, I was skeptical, and I'm like, y'all don't be spreading gossip, and there's no way possible that schools are going to close down for 2 weeks. I mean, the concept had never even crossed my mind that would happen. And then meetings started getting canceled with the legislators the very next morning or even that night. And then you started people walking around with face masks on, and I'm thinking, really, what's going on? And just the whole atmosphere in DC changed. There was so much more awareness of touching, shaking hands. And it just seemed like to me it happened so fast, overnight, elbow, this, and I was taken aback. And then we all came back from DC, and a lot of us schools did not return from spring break. And so we had to shift gears and try to navigate this great turning wheel that was turning in every direction so fast. And every school district was handling that, as well as TASN headquarters. The TASN board had to come to some decisions about what to do with meetings and how to handle that, because, we have to keep TASN headquarters safe as well. And for the first time, I believe ever, we had to cancel the TASN conference, and along with a lot of other conferences. And so Michael did not get his installation speech. How did your ending in DC go for you, Michael?
Kind of the same way. It was one of those where you're in an environment where you're getting information as it comes in, and you're wondering, okay, as far as what's going to happen when we get back. And I feel like the moment we got back, things just started kind of turning. While we were there, you're getting information and you're hearing about these things, and you wanted to go on like you normally do with your normal day-to-day routines. And like I said, I think about a week later after we came back, everyone was on spring break, and some people were already on spring break, and just the environment and the way we did things from that point started to change, and we really we had to have answers. I was getting ready to say we did have answers, but we had to have answers because we had to make plans and make things happen, not for us, but for students, for members to be able to do things out there as well, for families, across the state, let alone the country. So DC was interesting. It seems so long ago, the way we've been going now. 5 months, going on 6 months feels like will be since we've, been there, and yet lots has changed, since that moment.
Yeah, I knew I had stayed over in DC a couple days after the conference, and it got even a little bit more intense. On my flight home, I was sitting next to a gentleman in the aisle, and he had snow gloves on. He was wrapped around from all you saw were eyes. I mean, the feet were even wrapped up, and I thought, surely, he's overreacting. And then here we are today, and we have, the masks that we have to wear. So it's definitely been a learning curve for all of us. And I know one thing, since you missed your installation, which I know TASN headquarters will make up for you, and tradition is very important to a lot of the TASN members. And I know one of the traditions that started back in 1972, Vivian Bahoff, she started handing off a Bible and a scripture to the next president. So every single president since Vivian Bahoff in 1972 picked out a chosen scripture for the next incoming president. And so Michael will be receiving the TASN hand-me-down tradition Bible in the mail, since we can't see each other in person. And my scripture for Michael for this year's Isaiah 40:31. So I'll let Michael read that when he gets this Bible. But what's the tradition about this Bible that I really love is every president wrote in the front of this Bible from 72 all the way through now. And so at least one little tradition that I can pass on to you, since you didn't have the installation that you so deserve as a president on there. So Michael, how do you think the board moves forward with training, with meetings, even opening TASN headquarters back up? How do you see that now in your role?
I think the biggest thing for this year is making sure that everyone remains safe, trying to figure out the best way that we get our members and we keep them engaged and finally we can do our part, because at the end of the day, our members are going to be out there talking with our students and our families and providing to them. And so we're going to be looking at different ways from doing things from Zoom. We have our first board meeting next week where we will be on Zoom. We've been doing that for the most part. All of our meetings have been through that. In the past, we've kind of done things over the phone, and it's good to, I think right now, it's kind of good to kind of talk to everyone and see everyone at the same time, especially if you can't meet in person. I missed everyone, and I think we all missed each other this year in Austin. I was looking forward to that. I remember in my article I mentioned about having tacos somewhere, in Austin, because I know they have really good ones. But we've got to move forward, and we're going to be looking at webinars, just trying to find ways that we can meet with you. If we can't, I know our members also, they typically have their workshops. You guys do that in your districts, across the state, and that's going to be a little difficult, especially if you can't have members from other districts and from other areas that are going to come in and be able to do that. So we're going to have to find ways to engage you. TASN headquarters is working from home, and then they're also going in and they're putting together plans as far as, because we know we've got to get to the next process and part of our year.
Right.
So that includes the next year's conference. So just a lot of little things that are going to happen that that's hard to kind of tell, because while we plan on things, our plans continue to change, and we see that even right now as far as for the new school year. So it's going to be different. It really is. If you were going to get ready to say something, I didn't want to stop you.
Yeah, I know that TASN, we've kind of had to navigate in a different direction with the TASN headquarters and board as well, and just some of the different training opportunities. We still want all the members to know that TASN is your resource place, and they're stepping up their game and becoming the resource in a way that they can get this resource to you. Michael and I spoke about that there's a Manager's Academy being held at Lufkin ISD. So they probably don't have openings, but however, if there are other districts out there that want TASN to come and hold the Managers Academy, reach out to TASN, reach out to Lufkin ISD and see how they are handling that with the social distancing guidelines. Because if one district can do it, there are other districts out there. And I know another training opportunity, I've reached out to Karen, the executive director, and said, hey, we need somebody on the TASN headquarters staff who is ServSafe certified. So, and that they can be an instructor and a proctor, so that they could go out to the school districts that need ServSafe training, give the training, and give the test. Yeah. And I know this would be a valuable resource that TASN could have on staff there. So I believe someone's working on that right now. Michael, on the meetings, I believe on the Zoom board meetings, any of the members can come into the meeting. Isn't that correct?
That is correct and whatnot. You can get access to that because, again, that's going to be available. And if you can't get access to that, or if you're not available on that day, that will be available for you at some point, from my understanding, for you to be able to see. And if I'm wrong with that, we'll come back and we'll be able to share. But the biggest thing on that is, like I said, we're going to be doing things from Zoom because we're not going to be able to kind of be next to each other and be in person, which again, we all want to be. And we were planning this month to have our first board meeting and then the board installation as far as together in Austin, because the fact that we were hoping things were going to kind of materialize to that. And so we've kind of had to make some adjustments, and that's why we're going to be now having our meeting on Zoom. We've got to protect our members, we've got to protect you, and so that's going to be the focus, for this year, is finding ways to engage you and allow you to get professional development. I know Melissa had mentioned, things about our Manager Academy. One of the things that was just added to the TASN website, the School Food Service Solutions webpage, for things that you are doing well in your district, or things that you can look at and find solutions for you throughout this year. And so that's a web page that's been added to the TASN website, and we're going to be continuously looking for those types of opportunities to engage you.
I know I sent in one picture this morning that we've been doing for about a week here. You know how we're having to wear face masks, and someone walks into your office, you're looking for your face mask. What a great idea. Stick it on a lanyard around your neck, and wherever you go, it's with you. And what a great tool this is going to be for students starting school that have to wear them. Then they don't have to worry about them getting their masks mixed up with other kids. I thought, oh my gosh, that's so easy, but what a great tool. My conference theme, which is Better, Stronger Together, which all of Texas has stepped up, and we have been better, stronger together, and we will continue. However, you have a great theme, and something you said about your the training and stuff. What was your theme, and how are we going to move through that this year, Michael?
Creating endless possibilities. That was my theme for this year. And it's one of those where I look at it now and you think of the endless possibilities that each of our members are doing out in their schools. And so how we're looking for ways from webinars, from Zoom, from doing things from a distance. And so the possibilities are going to be endless this year, just because there's a need for that. And you guys out in the school are doing that, serving our community, serving our students. And if it be in person or if it be at home, however it may be, I mean, we're going to be creating that. And that's why we've got to find continuous ways to engage you so you can create those endless possibilities throughout the entire school year.
I think it's such a great and fitting theme, especially as we move into a new course right now with everything happening and finding a way to navigate. And we have been some of the most creative people out there. I mean, you look at what has been thrown on child nutrition professionals. Yeah. I think one of the biggest opportunities right now is we're having to move a little bit more technology forward. Yeah. And I know, having most of our members not be so technology forward, that's an avenue that we're going to have to go slow on, so that we can keep them actively engaged, but still, using the technology.
Yeah. And that's where the workshops have been beneficial to everyone, because being in person and seeing that person and having that engagement with that type of that workshop and that class really helps, because a lot of our members and a lot of adults, we like to learn that way. And so trying to find every avenue we can to teach and present material in front of an audience in this format moving forward, at least for the next several months, will be difficult, but something that we're going to accomplish and we're going to need to do this year, because all of our members, as we know that we have, are going to want to get their certifications. They're going to want professional development. They're going to want to learn about what this program will bring to them this year. And so that in membership engagement will be important throughout this entire year, whether it be online or in person, throughout the entire year. So it's I think it's going to be a focus for us this year of just trying to find every way possible, um, uh, just to really to try to find ways
Right.
to try to get those employees, those members,
Yeah.
excuse me, to learn.
Speaking of members, it's still very, very important for all the members out there to know that, TASN's going to continue to grow. We're going to continue to provide endless opportunities and find ways to reach everybody. However, we still need members to step up to fill board positions. So now's not a time to back off and say, oh, someone else will do it. We have elections every year, and we have such a low percentage of people that step up. Well, we are all owners of TASN, and we're all members of TASN, and so we need more members to step up and start this journey along with the rest of the board that we all have, been on. And so we want to encourage all the members, if there's a position or a certain, field that maybe if you're more into membership or if you're more into the education, volunteer to be on a committee to start with and get, dip your, foot in the water and get, see if this is for you. But we know it will be, because we all had to start somewhere. And TASN needs volunteers. TASN needs help. Even if we're not meeting in person, positions still have to run, and it is all volunteer. And so I think that that's important, that we still know that, we still need membership, and we still need people to fill in some positions.
Yeah. Well, and to go along with that is, I was hoping this year be able to kind of go out and see members out in the districts, and see and wherever they may be, and that may still be a possibility at some point, and I hope that is. Without that though, there are ways to reach out to us, for us to reach out to you. At any point, I hope that you continue to find ways to reach out to me, so I can kind of help you go in that direction if you want to be a part of this. And we want you to be a part of this, because this is an experience that is something that I think everyone should do. This is my 11th year starting in school nutrition, and I think what's important about that is, if you would have told me 11 years ago that I'd be the president of the Texas Association for School Nutrition, I would have said, sure, okay, whatever you may say from the end. But going through this process and learning and doing this, well, where each year I've learned something not only about myself, but about TASN and about the ways that we're going to continue to make this organization better for members. And so I think we want everyone to know that, hey, listen, we want you to help, and we want you, no matter where you are in the state of Texas, to know that, hey, you have a part in this. It doesn't matter if you are all the way in Lubbock or down there in Brownsville, Dallas,
Right.
or any part of the state, that you matter to this entire process. And we want volunteers to kind of, be a part of this, because we all come together at board meetings, and we all come together when we do our Zoom meetings, and we all come together at conference. And so having that participation, I think, is going to be key to continue that success, because what I live in Houston, what I know works in Houston may not work in Lubbock, may not work in El Paso, may not work in Brownsville. So hearing different ideas and different ways to approach this is important, and it's key to that. And so please, like I said, wherever you may be, we want you a part of this organization, and we hope that you will be a part of this organization.
Yeah. So let's leave all the members with a teaser. What is the next in-person conference that is in the works, planning stages right now? Can you tell us about it?
The Partnership Collaboration Summit. So for those of you who have known our industry seminar in the past, we've had that for many years. We're moving on to something different, our Partnership Collaboration Summit. Right now, we're working on something for that in the springtime, to kind of bring to where you can see our industry members, meet with other members in TASN, and talk to them about ways that they are going to be partnering together and collaborate and finding ways to kind of build on more ways to make their organizations better, their schools better, their members better, their employees, their students, whatever, from that end. So that's something that we're looking at and we're working on for the springtime, hopefully in the month of February. While we plan on things, we know plans, as I mentioned earlier, have changed several times throughout this. And so if it does change, regardless, we're going to find a way to have that meeting, whether it be online or in person. But the Partnership Collaboration Summit is something that we're looking forward to, and we hope that you will be a part of that new event that we have upcoming this year.
I'm excited. I like the fact that there's something in the works, a face-to-face meeting. And just a reminder to everybody, look to the TASN website with all the changes that are rapidly happening. TASN could be a spot for the website for you to go and look and see what's going on in the House and how that's affecting you. I know, Michael, you had mentioned something about that earlier.
Yeah, the one of the things that we are urging USDA as an organization, for one, to continue. I know a lot of you and most of you either been doing the seamless summer option or the SFSP program as far as in the summer, and we want that to continue into the new school year. And so we're urging USDA, we're urging them on lots of different things. We know TDA and USDA are working together. The goal is to make this as simple as possible for you. And to make this for our members where they can learn and do things on the fly and be able to look at from simplicity. We know the paperwork and we know what the burdens that all of you have. I think, Melissa, you experienced that in your district. I experienced that in the district I'm in. So we're urging USDA to look into that, because I think it's going to be important for us to be able to feed our students and our communities the best way we can and in the easiest way we can, in order so that way they can not have to worry about nothing but, hey, listen, I'm going to do my schoolwork and I'm going to get my lunch and get my breakfast and then move on. Let's do the next day and keep moving forward. So.
Yeah. Well, as we wrap this up, I do want to extend a huge thanks to Michael, to the rest of the TASN board, to all the TASN members for allowing me the honor of being your president this past year, 1920. And I'm so excited to start my new adventure as immediate past president. And I'm excited to see Michael as president and the board continue moving forward. And just thank you all to the members for allowing me the honor of this. And Michael, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Well, and Melissa, I'm not going to let you go. I'm going to say some things about you from the end. I appreciate you. And I say I, but I'm going to look at it from we appreciate you for what you've done this past school year and what you will continue to do for the association. I think what's important here is for all the members that we have. The greatest thing about this year, regardless if your year was cut short because of the pandemic, which I think no one expected, you will forever be remembered from everyone, from all the thousands of members that we have. Just because of the fact that, again, for all the work and the lessons and the guidance that, for one, you provided to me over these last 2 years, and for what you've been giving to the association. So I'm thankful for that, and I'm sure the members are thankful for that, and again, you won't be forgotten. And like you mentioned, you're not going anywhere, and so we are going to continue to have you guide us into this next journey, and I'm going to need all the help I can get throughout the year. I'm not perfect, and I want everyone to know that. That's why pencils have erasers, because nobody is perfect from that, and I do my best to help and to reach out and to, for one, continue that membership engagement and try to find ways in order to make your lives easier, because it's not about me, it's about us. It's about us as an association, and I just want to see us, TASN, to continue to grow and to be better, stronger together, and continue to kind of create these endless possibilities. I'm excited, but I go back. Melissa, I'm thankful for everything that you have done this past year and the things that you will continue to do, because, again, you will be remembered forever as far as being a TASN president and being a part of TASN overall. So we thank you.
It's my pleasure. Well, TASN members, thank you for joining us today and listen to us back and forth. I've enjoyed myself, Michael. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of this presentation with you.
Thank you. Let's do it again. Let's hopefully have more of these types of conversations, and we will have more of these conversations. So Thank you all. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, TASN. Thank you, TASN headquarters. Thank you, TASN board. Um, Thank you all. Be safe out there. First and foremost, please remain safe. And if you need anything from us, call us, text us, email us, um, find us any kind of way that you can. So thank you all again.
All right. Bye.